Hi, everyone. Welcome to Tasty Tuesday. And Jeff is over there. He's working the camera. He has done some things, hopefully, that will fix the audio not being lined up with the video. So I want to hear your feedback on that as we progress through the live. It should match up now.
Also, how's my audio? So I've got a separate microphone over here. Just want to check to make sure that sounds good too.
And he acts like a real radio person because he's right up to the mic,
I'm probably too close.
You might be. Anyway, hi, Catwoman. How are you? And hi, Carrick. How are you? Hi, Nancy and Betty and Craig. How are you guys? Hi, Kathy. How is everyone? Hi, Kat. John, good. I was just asking Jeff if he had seen you in the chat. I was about to send a message just to make sure you're okay. Hi, Denise. Hi, Larry. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Barbara. Yeah, Barbara Evelyn, Barbara Wolf. How are you guys? So anyway, if you're new, hi, Marls. And hi, Raven. I see you down there. And guess what? I can see the comments again. I'm so excited. So we splurged on a new, what do you call it? Monitor.
It's a computer monitor.
It's a computer monitor instead of an old 1975 TV that I had up there. So now I can actually see the monitor. Hi, Melba and Barbara Thurston. How are you? And Marjorie. There's a bunch of people. Hi, Sassy Hound. Hi, Wayne. All right. So Tasty Tuesday is where Jeff brings me ingredients that I don't know what's in the box. I don't know. And he presents them to me, and then I have to make dinner. And I got out my old friend, the old 2-lid model, because a few weeks ago I mentioned that the 1-lid model was giving me the pot notice. Now, I did find the actual original pot for that, and it did work better, but on occasion I still got the pot notice. So I thought, all right, well, let's see how this one does. I'm going to pull it out of retirement and start using that one. So anyway, hi, Leanne. How are you? Hi, Nancy. Hi, Annie. I think there was somebody that I missed, and I do apologize for that. I saw a name. And Denise. Hi, Denise. How are you? Okay. You want to start? And then as more people come in, I can say hi a little bit later. I also have some exciting news about my freeze dryer.
Okay. People are saying that the audio and video are better matched. Yay. So it's perfect. Because we went to HD video, I think it has more of a latency.
You think? Yep. Okay. Hey, George.
All right.
Oh, good. Okay, good. Thanks, George. George says he likes the format. It's the same format I always send. It's just red instead of orange. But I'm glad you liked it. That was for the smoker people. It's the smoked. Well, people who say I want to get everything on my email list, all the recipes. And then also to the smoker people. Hey, Bonnie. Hi, Jen. There's a ton of people popping in now. Hi, Claudia. Hi, Melinda. How do we get your emails? I have an email sign up. You would think I would know how to do that. How do you get my emails? Do I have a sign up on my website?
It's on the website.
Oh, if you're on mobile and you go to my website, there should be a little subscribe button right at the top. If you go to thesaltedpepper.com, a little subscribe button. Yeah. I'm terrible about promoting myself. So when you ask me these things, I'm like, I don't even know. People just get there somehow. Anyway, if Jeff can find a link, he'll try to pop it in.
Let you see if you can see it, because I can't see what that is.
Yeah, I can see it. Oh, you mean I can see something you can't see?
Oh, right at the tippy top.
Right at the tippy top, it says subscribe. Not that they can see that, but of course it's not working. Well,
I'm going to get a million emails.
Don't go there. This is not working for some reason. Why is it not working? That's weird.
Maybe it's pop-up.
All right, I'll figure that out. If you're on desktop, I know it works. Well, at least I thought it worked. I don't know. That's just another problem I got to handle. Okay. Stacy said we just ordered the XL 7-in-1 smoker. I think you're going to love it. I really do. I'm loving the wood fire. I've had it for almost 2 years now, and I've been using it quite a bit. I don't have that many recipes for it because my recipes take a long time to get right and to make sure that they replicate. And I had one smoker that was giving me a fit. Like I can test it at home. The smoker that I have there works great. I mean, they're the same kind, but one has the internal thermometer probe and one doesn't, but I don't think that has anything to do with this. I think the one that I ordered for here at work, it was just a dud. It was just a dud. And I was too stubborn to realize that it was a dud. I kept thinking I was doing something wrong because my pellets wouldn't stay lit. At home, they're like, it's just a dream, right? So I would test my recipes at home and then come here to do the video and the pellets wouldn't burn and all this kind of stuff. And I'm thinking, what am I doing wrong? Why is this happening? Turns out I wasn't doing anything wrong. It was the grill. Just didn't have the right airflow to keep the pellets lit. Something was just off about it. So anyway, enough of that. Tasty Tuesday. Jeff gives me ingredients. I don't know what they are. I'm going to cook dinner, and I guess I'm going to do it in this one, in this little 2-lid. So let's go.
All right. Denise Hogg. I don't know if you said hi to her, Denise yet. And Linda.
Hi, Denise. Hi, Linda.
Wait, ready for your first?
Hi. Hi, Eric. How are you? Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. Hi, Maggie. How are you? Okay, ready?
Yep.
Okay.
That's an easy one.
I would say these are, well, mushrooms. Am I right?
Yep.
A lot of mushrooms. A lot of mushrooms. I love mushrooms, so that's fine. Okay.
Ready?
You acted like it was going to be heavy the way you took a deep breath in, so I'm like bracing myself, and it's not. Well, that's pretty impossible for me to tell what's in there. I don't know why I do this with my eyes closed. Oh, okay, so it's cheese. I'm going to say blue cheese crumbles. I'm right.
2 for 2.
I kind of know my husband. Like, he wouldn't get me feta with mushrooms. He just wouldn't. And I just know him. I know him very well. We've been married a long
You'll
time.
never guess this one. It's an impossible
An
one.
onion.
Oh, look at you.
I don't know what kind, but I'm just going to guess it's one of my sweet onions from here. It is. Okay.
You ready?
Mm-hmm. Those are, what? What are these?
You should know.
I should know?
Mhm.
I should know what they are? They're hard. Are they supposed to be hard?
I don't know if they're supposed to be as hard as they are.
They don't pop. I don't have a clue what these are. Oh. But I was not even thinking at all about Brussels sprouts. Not even a little bit. I was thinking it was some kind of a weird, like, little fruit. Okay.
Okay.
I should have known they're Brussels sprouts, though. They didn't feel like it because they're kind of more cylindrical than I'm used to.
It's just an extra ingredient.
An extra ingredient?
Yeah, it's optional, I guess. But no problem.
Optional. And it shakes like that, and it's in this kind of a container.
Smell it. I can smell it if you want. That'll give it away.
Oh, peppercorns. Oh, I know what you want me to make. Oh, here we go. Okay, come on.
Well, tell me what you want me to make.
I want you to make?
Tell me
If I tell you what you...
No,
Okay, I'm opening my eyes right now.
Okay, tell me what you think I want you to make.
That steak au poivre.
Oh, well, you ready for your protein?
Bring it on. It's steak, I know. Well, we've already done this.
You don't have to do a poivre. I just gave you peppercorns because we found that. Let me talk with my mic. We found that peppercorns are better than just regular pepper on a steak. But let's take a look at the steak.
It's a nice looking steak. I mean, without even opening it, I could tell. It says filet on here. Where'd you get this?
At the butcher shop.
How much did this set us back? This is like a $50 steak.
Less than that.
What?
Less than 50.
much?
30.
There, I knew it was high. Oh my gosh, it's thick as thick can be. Okay, so we've got to get this right now. We got to start doing this. We are going to sous vide this for a little bit, and the reason being is because I got to trim it. Number one, really quick. I'm going to throw it in the sous vide while I prep everything else.
You want me to give you some water in the pot?
Yes, please. That'll be good. And the reason why I'm going to sous vide it is because it's so thick. Like getting it to sear and still stay medium, rare on the inside is going to be impossible. Where did you get this beast from?
From the butcher shop here in town.
Oh my goodness gracious. I mean,
I was trying to get.
It's like 5 meals.
I was trying to get Chateaubriand, and that's the closest thing they could find to that. When you brought it out, it was twice as big.
Oh.
And he said, "How much do you want?" I said, "Give me half of that."
Half of that.
Is that enough water? That should be enough.
It feels nice. I'll tell you, like when you get a good quality steak, like you can just feel the difference as you're trimming it and everything. It just feels different. And I don't want to mess it up here. All right. Will you get me a I'm not going to vacuum seal. I'm just going to use a freezer bag. So if you can get me one of those, I'll season this up. Put some peppercorns in there.
Do you want your mortar and pestle to crush up the peppercorns?
No. Too
Will it
much
fit in the
work.
small one?
Yeah. That's too much work, Jeff. Just hand me my pepper grinder.
Where's the pepper grinder? This one?
Yeah.
The mill?
Yeah, the mill.
This one?
Yes. As I'm not even looking, but I can hear it moving. So, yes.
I don't know nothing about this one.
I don't either. Okay.
I'll let you know.
Looks good enough. I mean, really, I don't really want that big thing in there either. This is one that would probably benefit. I'm not even using the right knife, guys. So, Jeff, I'm going to have to read, can you read some comments if they need to be read?
Yep.
Or put them up on the screen if they're good enough.
Nancy Summers says the 4th of July is her 44th wedding anniversary. So
Happy anniversary. I should probably. Okay, so I'm going to do something I never do, ever. And I'm going to actually twine this up because of the way I needed to cut it.
So Bonnie's asking, can I clean and freeze fresh mushrooms?
That is a good question. I'm going to say no to freezing mushrooms. Unless they're cooked. I don't know the answer though, to be honest with you. Has anyone ever done it? I really don't know the answer. Because I don't think I've ever frozen mushrooms. Have you?
Nope.
I think so. Yeah, I haven't at all. So because I'm going to sous vide the steak, I'm going to be using the stove. So we're going to do the Brussels sprouts on the stove.
Yeah, Brussels sprouts on the stove. Okay, I'll clear the stove off for you.
Okay. Is this it then?
That's all the ingredients I got. I did bring these, but I decided halfway through that I was just creating an issue. I don't need those.
What?
You want them? Okay.
Potatoes? Creating an issue? Oh! I might need more than one appliance though for tonight.
Well, I guess it's a free world. You can use as many as you want.
Where'd that combi go?
Oh.
All right, I gotta wash my hands again, and then I gotta twine this. I gotta get this in because I don't want it to be in there too long. I just want it to be in while I'm prepping everything else. And I hope I have enough time to do this. That's the one thing that I think. Where is it? I think that when you get something that's really nice and thick like that, you really have to make sure you have enough time to cook it properly. Because if I just seared it, it's not going to be right. It's going to overcook.
We're gonna put the combi right here, okay?
Okay, that's okay. All right, so we're gonna do a couple different things. So we're gonna sous vide with the foodie, and I'll combi the rest of the stuff, I think. All right, sorry guys, I'm sorry I'm ignoring you. I just want to get this in. The rest of the meal will be fine, but this takes time. Oh, I guess I could be preheating. Okay, so let's turn this on. I hope this has a sous vide function. Does it not?
That one probably.
It does. Okay, 125 is what I want. And I'll just close this for now. No, I guess I won't because it's going to yell at me. Okay, let me just get this done. Okay, I never do this with meat, but.
Is it just because it's falling apart a little bit?
Yeah. So it'll keep it together, and then it'll just be like one nice steak. And I'm just gonna do one, that's fine. All right, so salt, pepper. That's it, right? Put some rosemary in there if we want. I have it handy. Do you want to read some comments or anything, or?
Yeah, how long has it been since you used the tube lid? Since you've forgotten what it has? And we did all that work on that how-to course.
And then I switched and had to do the how-to for the one lid. It's crazy. It's been a year probably. Now well, that's not really true. It's been a year since I've used it on camera, I would think. Jeff, where's my rosemary? Why don't I have rosemary?
I don't know. I think I know. You want to come back out here? I'll go look.
I don't understand where things go sometimes.
I thought we had rosemary in one of those
I
things.
thought we did too. Forget it. It doesn't matter. I don't know where it is. I'm getting a little frustrated because I should have it up here in my spice
It's right here.
thing. But why? It's empty. Ooh, it's empty. That's why. Okay, I'm back. Jeff had to find it. Okay, can I explain what sous vide is? Yes, it's cooking in a water bath. Is exactly what it is. So I'm just gonna put some of this in there. Okay, let me get it in, and then I can even talk more about why it works so well. Okay. Here we go. So the meat's going in. Now, usually I use vacuum seal bags, but I'm not going to this time. And now I will be putting this in and doing what's called the submerge method, I guess. Immersion. What is it called? The immersion technique? I used to write about it all the time. Submersion, yeah. So I'm pushing it down in the water, leaving the bag above, which is pressing out all the air. And then might need a little more water in there. And then it will hold it down. And if it doesn't hold it down, because mine's kind of floating a little bit, you can put a plate on it. Or what I usually do is put the rack in there when I'm using the foodie. And you can put the rack on the other. This thing's so big, I don't even know if I'll get the pressure lid on with the rack in. This steak is so huge. Okay, there we go. Now it'll preheat.
Oh, Cindy works with the lid on.
Yeah. So now it'll preheat to 125 degrees. That's what I set it for. And it will cook that steak at 125 degrees. The water bath will stay that temperature, and it'll cook the steak. The steak will reach an internal temperature of 125 degrees. And I would say with that thickness, I'm hoping I can get it done right by the end, like right in an hour. I'm hoping. I'm not sure though. It's very thick. But sorry about that. But if not, well, I like rare steak. I don't have any issues with it.
You can
So
always broil it for a bit if it's.
well, I will broil it. I will broil it or sear it to get it that sear. But I was thinking if I do that, I could have also done a reverse sear on it. We could have baked it in the oven at a low temperature, because if I seared it and cooked it, heat transfers from the outside in, so I would overcook the outside and it would start to overcook. So it would just be a hard steak, in my opinion, to cook perfectly without using sous vide or another low temperature method.
You want me to throw this away and clean this up?
Yes, please. And then we're going to get on to the next stuff. So sous vide The advantages are that you can leave like tougher cuts of meat in this sous vide bath at every meat will have a different temperature that you want to set it to. But you leave it for a long period of time and it tenderizes the meat. So you can actually turn a sirloin into something that is as tender as a filet. Ordinarily, I don't sous vide fillets. Now that I'm thinking about it, I should have cut that thing in half because that's just too thick. I mean, that was like 3.5 inches. Nobody eats a steak that thick. So, yeah, I could have cut it in half, but Jeff went to the trouble to get a very thick steak. So let me see if I can cook it correctly. That's the bottom line. And if I don't, he'll never buy another $30 steak again. Oh, maybe I shouldn't cook it correctly. I'm just joking.
You better cook it correctly.
I'm just joking. Yeah, I know, right? $30. I'm going to cook it correctly. That's for sure. Okay. So, anyway, I don't know. I'm losing my train of thought because I got a lot of thinking going on here about how to do the rest of the stuff and what I want to do with it. I think we'll make this into, that delicious sauce. I think we'll do that for the Brussels sprouts. And I think I can do both the Brussels sprouts and the potatoes in the combi. But I want the potatoes to come out differently than I want the Brussels sprouts to come out. So
is the pressure relief valve open or closed? John asked.
It's open, but it's such a low heat. It wouldn't matter if it was closed. It's such a low temperature. It wouldn't go under pressure. It's just too low of a temperature, but it is vented. It does stay vented during sous vide. The only time you keep the pressure valve closed, sealed, is during pressure cooking. All right. Do you want to go back up? Because I feel like I've missed a lot. Okay. I saw somebody say they put their dehydrating racks over. That's a good idea. Yeah, that works well. Mushrooms cook freeze better than raw. Okay. Yeah, I figured that. I thought that would be true. Okay. I froze them until I could pressure can them. Okay. So I think we're still talking about mushrooms. I guess if you're going to pressure can them, I don't know. I don't want to answer the question because I don't know the answer. I have never frozen raw mushrooms in my life. So I just don't know the answer.
You can freeze dry them.
Yeah, you can. But yeah, you could definitely freeze dry them. I just don't know. I would think that they would get really wet and kind of icky when you take them out. But anyway, I don't know the answer. Now I'm going to have to try it. Hi, Dawn. How are you? Okay. I have to stay awake until the chickens go into their coop and I can lock them in so I can't fall asleep. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. We have an automatic chicken opener and closer that Jeff sets based on what the season is,
Sunrise, sunset. Yeah. So I give them like 30 minutes after sunset.
Ranger says, I love how Louise doesn't panic when a wrench gets thrown at her, solved in a jiff. So yeah, sometimes. I mean, I'm a little nervous about this. And the reason being is I don't want to keep you guys too long, but I also don't want to ruin a $30 steak. So I'm a little iffy on whether I'm going to get this done in time.
What's
anyway,
down?
it's telling me to add the food, but I already have the food in there. Usually you let it heat and then you put the food in, but I'm not a usual person. So I put the food in. It doesn't make any difference really. I put the food in, let it reheat.
Get that meat heated through.
Yeah. So, I mean, like I would say for a sirloin, I'm cooking it and tenderizing it. So I do between 60 and 90 minutes. For a filet, you don't really have to worry about the tenderization of it because it's already tender cut, but you do want to get it cooked, correctly all the way through. So I'm hoping I can get this done 45 minutes to an hour. I hope, because it's thick. But if it isn't cooked all the way through, then I just adjust from there. I'll just figure it out from there. And I guarantee you we will have a good steak because I don't mind rare and you don't mind rare.
No, we've got a stove and an oven. We can bring things to temperature.
So if I have to, I'll cut the thing in half and fry it up that way. Well, it'll be fine. I was going to say something else. Oh, the other thing is, just so you know, you only have to worry about, like, for bacteria purposes with steak, intact cuts of beef, like a fillet, not ground up, because once they're ground up, you can introduce bacteria into it. But when it's just a full cut, like a steak or a big roast or something that was just cut, out from the whatever it was, whatever. Well, it's always going to be a cow. See how I'm getting a little, I know. I was going to say whatever animal, but this is not, it's not the same for pork. Anyway, so all beef. When you cut it out and it's an intact piece, you only have to sear the outside, the sides of it. The bacteria is only on the outside. It doesn't penetrate down into the meat. So we're good to go. That's why you can eat beef a lot rarer than you can chicken. It's just different it's a different animal, as I was acting like I didn't know that a minute ago. Crazy. Okay.
Jen's making peanut butter blondies.
You are? Right now? What? Awesome. That's awesome. I'm so glad. They're good. I hope you like them. All right, now I got to find the rest of the combi stuff. Because, can you tell them that we're going on vacation and that's another reason why I'm all hyped up?
We're going on vacation, and that's
the other reason why I'm
Tell me what do you want me to do?
I don't know. I thought you would say something a little bit. I don't know.
We're not going on vacation for a week, but we've got a lot to do.
I got so much to do. So I always have way too much to do. And I washed all the dishes, but I didn't put anything away. So I have all this stuff here. All right, I gotta cut the Brussels sprouts. Can you wash them for me and wash the potatoes, Jeffrey? And you can put them in. You put the potatoes in one and the Brussels sprouts in another. All right.
How many potatoes?
500.
Almost got that.
No, probably. Oh. Well, if we do half a bag, I won't have to cook tomorrow. If we do the whole bag, I won't have to cook for 2 days. All right, these have to be cleaned too, but I clean my mushrooms in a very controversial way. So, some people will be totally grossed out.
You decide on half a bag?
Half a bag's good. I just wash my mushrooms with a damp paper towel. All right, these are going to be. How do you want that done? The mushrooms. Do you want them in slices, Jeff, or do you want them in like chunks? I can't remember. I haven't made this.
I don't remember. You haven't made that in so long.
Might be cleaner for my hands to do it under the sink.
I kind of
Crazy.
like chunks, but whatever you want to do.
Chunks are good with me. I'm gonna do too many here. These are pretty clean mushrooms. Where'd you get the Brussels sprouts from?
Walmart. Everything from Walmart except for the steak.
Except for the steak.
Huggin and Munnin said, I love this. I like this channel.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome.
I'm not normally like this.
Kathy says, I always cook and freeze my mushrooms.
Cook and freeze, yes. But this was a question about raw. I think. I'm pretty sure. Cook and freeze is perfectly fine.
And George says, is that 2 hours and 59 minutes? This could be a long live.
Yeah, no, I just didn't set
the all the time.
No, it defaults to 3 hours and I just left it there. Okay, so I probably used half of that, so about 8 ounces of mushrooms. And I will trim the stem off.
Carrick asked, can you cut the steak in half and after you sous vide it?
Yeah.
Yes,
Absolutely. Yeah. And what I mean by cutting it in half is cutting it in half lengthwise where it's thick, cutting the thickness down, not just cutting it straight through the middle. That is a really difficult thing to communicate when I talk about cutting a chicken breast. Like, we call it sometimes butterflying, but butterflying usually means you leave it intact and you just open it up. But when I cut them in half lengthwise, I try to always think, how do I describe that? Cut them in half lengthwise, but does that even make sense? I'm not even sure. I just had a conversation with somebody on Facebook about that, where I don't know if we were talking the same thing. She kept saying, I'm going to cut them in half to serve 2 people. And I said, well, are you cutting them in half lengthwise to reduce the thickness? Or are you cutting a thick chicken breast straight down the middle in half? Right? How do I even explain that? I'm not even sure. Where to go.
Tough with words. It's easy
if you can show, but it's tough. It is tough as words, isn't it? It's very tough. Okay, we need a pan.
So yes, Kat, we're going to sear the steak after it's done in the sous vide. You wouldn't want to eat a sous vide steak that wasn't seared. It's not very,
Nah, not really.
John says, when are you arriving down under, guys?
Oh, well, that's not this vacation, John. But I think March. Is it March of 2025?
I think that's what we were talking about.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, I've got a pan heating on the stove. We're going to get these mushrooms going.
A lot of people use your same mushroom cleaning technique.
Yeah, it used to be that
washes hers.
Used to be that everybody said that you had to you couldn't wash them under the sink because they would absorb the water. Then Alton Brown disproved that theory. I believe it was him that disproved that by weighing mushrooms and then washing them and seeing if they gained any weight from water, which they did not. And if it wasn't Alton Brown, it was somebody else who was kind enough to do that experiment. But old habits, it's just me. So that's how I do it. My mom, on the other hand, she soaks them. She will wash them. She probably scrubs them with a scrub brush and adds Dawn dish detergent. I don't know. I'm joking about that.
Well, here's a good suggestion on how to describe cutting a chicken breast the butterfly way is horizontally.
Who's so brilliant? Now, why?
Pricky Cha.
Now, why in the world have I not thought of that before? Why have you not told me that? Why did I think about that? Horizontally.
You're overthinking it.
Oh my gosh. I feel so silly right now. Of course, horizontally. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now I can communicate better. Oh my gosh. So funny. All right, so we are going to saute these in butter, a little bit of salt and pepper. I am going to add in some onions, but I'm actually going to add in the mushrooms first. So we're making like a little, kind of a sauce. It's a blue cheese sauce. That's going to go over, I don't even know where my butter is. It's going to go over the steak. It's going to be delicious. So I want to get that started, and then I can start figuring out how I want to do these potatoes. I mean, I know what I want to do with them. Do you want smashed?
Yeah, I like the smash. Those are so good.
Okay.
Nami Gal says, I love you, Louise. Just ordered a bunch of stuff off your Amazon suggested list.
Oh, thank you.
I watch you every night on the iPad before I sleep and then write down your recipes in my book in the daytime.
Well, you don't have to write them down. You can just print them right from my website. Save yourself some time. Just go to my website and print them. They're all the YouTube videos have, well, except for maybe like 3. All of them have written recipes that you can just go to my website and print.
The same person said, also you'll love Cayman Islands. I went years ago, but we're not going to the Cayman Islands.
We're not going.
We went there in April.
Yes, we went to Cayman's in April. Loved it. I've been there several times, but Jeff had not, right? You had not been there.
Right.
And I mean, it was great. We were going to go back this time, and we're going to go to the same place because we loved it so much and everything. Rent the same little villa and everything. I guess you'd call that a villa, a townhouse, whatever. Very nice. And what happened, they were booked. I waited too long. I always wait too long. I'm of the mindset that I don't want to rush. to make decisions. We kind of knew when we wanted to go, but we're pretty I don't know, flexible really about things. Jeff can take off pretty much with enough notice anytime. So I wasn't really too worried about it, but we did have an idea of what time period we wanted to go in July. So when I finally got around to booking, they were already booked, and they were booked pretty much throughout the whole July. So we kind of lost that. And I said, well, we could either go now, which was in June, to Grand Cayman, or pick someplace else. So he started finding different places, and we looked around. And then I'm going to let him tell you, but somebody did ask if your mic is off.
Yeah, I just swapped out microphones, so tell me what this one sounds like. If it's still low, I can up the volume a little bit.
So the other one doesn't work?
Not in this setup. It's probably this cable. It could be the cable. Let's find out. Is that microphone any better?
And I am not crowding my mushrooms. So I'm going to add a few to the pan.
Okay, so that's better with the microphone. So I'll just have to work on that other mic and see what's going on.
And we're not going to overcrowd the pan. Overcrowding the pan creates steam. When steam is created, they don't brown up. I want them nice and brown. So I'm not crowding my pan. That's a tip I learned from Julia Roberts when I spent 3 days making her beef bourguignon that tasted exactly like my beef stew that I can make in, a couple hours. So there we go. Okay.
Julia Childs.
Who did I say? Julia Roberts? Yeah, Julia Roberts. I'm sure she makes good too. Yeah, Julia Childs. Why would I have Julia Roberts on my mind? I like her. But it was Julia Childs that taught me that because, she's the chef. All right. Now, we're going to figure out how I'm going to do this in the combi. So, the idea here, while those are cooking, the idea is to get both of my, oh my gosh, I got more prep to do. You know what? It'll be fine. I'm going to just steam those. And then I'm going to steam these. Do you want your Brussels sprouts whole or cut?
Whatever's easiest.
It's not really about easy. I mean, they are. It is easier. Just toss them in. Oh, those mushrooms.
I like them either way, as long as they get a little char on the outside.
Yeah. Okay. They're small too. So
What did we have Brussels sprouts glazed with recently at a restaurant that was so good? There was some kind of.
Did you bring your hot honey?
It is.
At home?
I think it's at home. Let me look.
You wouldn't just bring your jar of hot honey, would you? So Jeff made a batch of hot honey, and we've made it before, but just kind of thrown it together at the last minute. And I've never really been thrilled with it. Like, I would never have a recipe for any of the ones that I did. Well, Jeff made one, and I said, and I tasted it, and I said, oh my gosh, this is the best one you've ever had. So I hope you wrote it down so I can do a recipe for it, right? I want to do a recipe for this. And he says, oh, I just followed somebody else's recipe. I said, man, well, we got to come up with our own version that's different, but just as good, because it was delicious. Do you remember whose recipe it was?
No, I don't.
Because we could give them some love here, but
I'll look it up.
Anyway, it turned out really nice. You said it had vinegar in it, which was a little different.
A couple of them that I saw had apple cider vinegar. After you do the infusion of the heat, you put some apple cider vinegar in it. I guess that kind of stabilizes it, keeps it pourable.
Oh, Robin's so funny. She says, here I thought Louise has been a chef to the rich and famous. That's right. Oh my gosh. Because I said Julia Roberts. Like I cooked for Julia Roberts.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, okay. No, I'm not a chef. I'm a home cook. Although if I didn't go to nursing school, I think I would have enjoyed going to culinary school quite a bit. So I've got some good browning there. I think we need a little more butter. This is not low fat or low cal at all. All right, put a few more in. Now that they're lightly browned, I'm going to put a little salt and pepper on them. I think I can get the rest in here. No, maybe not. Nope, not quite, not all. All right, let's put some salt in. Just about maybe a half of a teaspoon. And for the pepper, I'm not going to use the coarse pepper. I'm just going to use the regular pepper, and probably about a quarter teaspoon of that as well. And we'll just let that butter melt. Let these mushrooms start to brown. Yeah, it's looking good already. Okay, back to the peeling. So this is why it's always fun to have somebody in the kitchen with you when you're prepping, because especially something like this, which these Brussels sprouts are kind of a pain to. I'm sure somebody has a better way to do it. Excuse me. Yes, I got a freeze dryer. And as soon as I can get all the stuff in, I'm going to show you some stuff I freeze dried. It's so exciting. Oh my gosh. So exciting. Like, I think I'm in love with the freeze dryer. What do you think of the freeze dryer, Jeff?
Oh, I like it so far. It's hot.
It does put off
It
heat.
heats up the room, and we've been trying to shoot videos and run the freeze dryer, and we have to like
Yeah.
turn the heat off for when we're shooting.
And it's in a totally different room. It's loud too.
Kat said, what kind did you get? Blue Alpine.
A blue Alpine, and I got the medium one. They have a large and a medium. And if anyone's in the market to get one, I'm happy to talk to you about it. But also, I do have an affiliate link with them. I'm not trying to force sales or anything, but you can get 1% off, which isn't a whole lot, right? I know that, but these things are like $3,000, so 1% off is the thing. So you get 1% off if you use my affiliate link, and then I get, I don't know, maybe 1% commission or something. It's very small commission, but still, it's they're expensive. All right, this is looking pretty good. I'm going to add in the rest, these last little few here. We'll just leave those alone. And Jeff is working on something on the phone, but I don't know what.
I'm trying to find out where I got the hot honey recipe.
Oh, okay. So yeah, the freeze-dried candy. Okay, do you want to go get the bag of Jolly Ranchers?
Oh, yeah, where is that?
They're in the other room. Like I think right as soon as you walk in from the garage, they're in a bag. These things are so fun. So, and you can bring the Skittles too. So the first thing we did was candy because it's easy and you can't really mess it up. Although I'm beginning to think you can't mess anything up in this thing. But the candy is so weird. So the first time we did it, we did a whole bunch of different things. We did some chocolate stuff, but Jeff wasn't a huge fan of that. Chocolate doesn't freeze dry, but if you have chocolate and caramel, the caramel will. And I kind of liked the Milky Way freeze dry, but Jeff just wasn't a huge fan of it. So anyway, most people do Skittles. So this is what Skittles turn out like when they're freeze dried. They pop open and they're really crunchy. They're good. They're so good. Okay.
One of them is enough sugar for a week.
That's the other thing. I think these are great for dieting because you cannot eat that many. Now, these little cool things are Jolly Ranchers, but guess what? Only a third of a little Jolly Rancher. You know how you get a little Jolly Rancher? I cut them in thirds. That's how much they puff up. Look at this. Amazing.
Yeah, try biting into a regular Jolly Rancher. Not going to happen.
Oh, it's amazing. But again, that's enough of it.
Yeah, Jolene said it. You tried ice cream sandwiches.
Now, yeah, it's on my list.
I meant to buy some today, and so we could do it, but I forgot.
Yeah, it's on my list though. All right, I gotta get moving. These are looking pretty
Carrick
good.
likes your logic of dieting by eating candy.
Yes. Yeah, you can't eat that much of it though. So that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to save those because I'm tired of peeling them and it's only 2 of us. All right, so I am going to, I gotta put some water in there. I'm not doing anything.
How much do you need?
Crisp. I'm going to use Combi Crisp only because I should probably use Combi Bait, but I'm not going to.
What do you want?
Half a cup is fine. I'm probably messing this up, but it's okay. And it doesn't matter. It could be whatever. So I'm just going to throw that in. And because of the way the steam comes out, I'm turning this all the way around. I'm going to do Combi Crisp. We're going to go all the way up to 450. We're going to hit start. And I'm going to say it's going to take 20 minutes. I'm going to put the clock on 25. I don't know. It might take longer than that, though. I didn't season them or anything. That's fine. We'll do that later.
Barbara said she's never removed the outer leaves of her sprouts. Do you think it makes a difference?
Well, yeah. I mean, I always have. As long as yours are clean. These are gross looking, though, on the outside. They're all slimy and brown. So I always peel them down to where they look like nice and clean and green. But if yours are nice on the outside, I don't think it matters. As long as you cut a little of the stem off and wash them, I think you're fine. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to pull this off the heat for a minute because I'm talking too much. But these look so good. They smell good too, don't they, Jeff?
Yes, they smell great.
Don't they?
It smells like mushrooms and butter.
And we need
That's what it
time.
is. You have any idea, you think, or is that going to be?
I don't know. So I feel like I've totally ignored you guys all night long. Okay, yeah, sweet onions, Vidalia onions, freeze dry them. I am going to do that. I have a whole bag. I have a whole bag, and I'm going to do that. Okay, perfect. So I'll show you some other stuff. Let me just get this into the thing. I'm going to show you some things that are going to blow your mind. Like, if they blew my mind. I was shocked, really shocked. But if I don't keep cooking and stop talking, we're never going to eat. I'm doing these chunky because I just don't feel like having precision tonight. So they're about the same size as the mushrooms. Okay, Carrick, any hints on how to stuff onion or garlic powder? I get granulated, which does help. So instead of onion powder and garlic powder, I get granulated, and that helps quite a bit. Obviously, it's clumping because of moisture. So you can put in like raw rice like you would with some other things to keep, like salt. Sometimes people put that in, or it's salt, right? Yeah, to keep it from clumping. So you could do that too. But it's all about the moisture, and plastic absorbs moisture. So even though, we think of plastic as being like airtight, it's really not. But you could put them in, you could put it in, we want to hand me a freeze dryer thing, just one of those things. But you could put them into like a smaller version of this and then seal it with a sealer, or even not seal it. You're going to have a lot less clumping if you put your spices in there. Now I'll tell you what that is in a minute. Now let me get this back on my heat. And get those cooking. And you got thyme. Just going to put a pinch of thyme in. So that is probably about 1/4 teaspoon of thyme. I can add more later. I will need a little bit of mustard. Okay. I'm in good shape.
Do you want dark mustard or just regular yellow mustard?
Not yellow, some kind of Dijon or something.
Yes, Dijon.
Okay, I could have put garlic in it. I'm not going to worry about it. Oh, I got some onion on my butter. That's fine. Okay, we're in good shape now. I don't have anything to do for a little bit.
Dijon mustard?
That's been going 30 minutes. This might time out right. Okay, I'll add that in a minute. I don't have any white wine here, do I?
You have a bag of wine in there.
Oh, it's old. That's real old.
Really old.
Yeah, I think I have some cupcake. It's old too, but at least it's been in the refrigerator. Oh, I got some prosecco. I'll use that. It won't be fizzy, but it'll be fine. I'll use some Prosecco in there. Do you remember if there was a little cream? I think there's a little cream at the end.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I wasn't sure if that came from the blue cheese sort of melting down.
Kind
or
of,
if you
but
actually put
I still
heavy
think I
cream.
put a little cream in there. Okay. Now, let's talk about things. Let's talk about freeze drying things. I'm so excited about all of this stuff. You want to bring the rest over?
Yep.
Okay. Now I'm going to get some hot water. Now, I wish I wasn't using my pressure cooker because I would reconstitute some of this stuff for you really quickly. Okay. So, I've just been experimenting with little batches of this and that. So these, and they have not been sealed yet because I knew I was going to show you guys, so I didn't seal them. These are peppers. The little peppers, you know, like the little mini sweet peppers that you get. They're like the best snack. I didn't put anything on them. I didn't season them with anything. They are so good. Now that one didn't feel as dry, but that's because I have not sealed them. Okay, so delicious. All right. Okay. All right, now I am not gonna lie. This still freaks me out a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. This is brisket. And Jeff did seal this one. And this brisket has been at room temperature for, how many days now?
Oh, probably about 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, they say it'll last 25 years. Now, obviously, most of the time you would reconstitute it. Now, with brisket, because pure oil does not freeze dry. So the fat on the brisket, I cut most of it off. Not all of it, but if I left as much on that was on this brisket, it would go rancid, you know, quicker. Okay, so freeze dry. It was smoked, cubed, freeze dried, and now it's been sitting at room temperature. And I didn't reconstitute it. This is just frozen, like freeze dried.
Better than beef jerky because it doesn't get stuck in your teeth. Easier to chew.
It's so good. Just like that. No, it's dry. It's just as good reconstituted. Can you put our sink on really hot? Okay. But it's dry. I mean dry. So you need to drink something with it. If you're ready to eat it dry.
Yeah.
Oh. Mmm. But it's good. Now the pulled pork is not good raw. So I didn't like it at all. But it's cool. So again, it's just dry. It's just dry. It's crazy to me. Oh my gosh. So dry. It's amazing. Yeah, I'm not going to reconstitute the pulled pork because I want to show you something else. But anyway, I could put this back in. I'm not going to because it's been on my cutting board. So I'm going to throw it away. But it's amazing. I'm like so in love with this thing. Okay, now I don't know how this is going to work. I have no idea. But this is pork loin. Totally dry. I don't know how much water it would need either. Those are all the things I'm working on. I'm going to cover it with this really hot water. And we're just going to set it over to the side. We're not going to do anything. We're just going to set it over to the side. All right. What's next? I'm so excited. Kathy wants to know what the purpose of freeze drying is. Well, it preserves your food and keeps the nutrients in it. And basically, the reason why I got it is because I'm out of room in my freezers. I hate to waste food. I want to repurpose it. Sometimes I need something kind of quick. And if it's frozen, it's not that quick to thaw, right? But if I needed, like, let's say I was making a recipe using already cooked pulled pork, like in my pulled pork stew. I could grab a bag of my freeze-dried pulled pork, reconstitute it in the pressure cooker, pot and pot, because that's how it reconstitutes the best so far that I've tried. And I could have it for recipe testing. Now, when I actually did the recipe itself, the actual recipe, I would go through the whole process like somebody else would. But if I'm just testing an idea to see how it's going to work, I have no problems using that pork at all. This is my mango sauce. So you're going to see this video coming out, okay? It's coming out soon. And I loved it so much. It is perfect on tacos, right? Here, I got some left. Well, I don't want to put too much in this because it won't sauce back up. I need a little bowls. Can you get me just two little bowls over there? They might be in the dishwasher on the top shelf. I think that's clean. On the very top shelf. Yeah. Okay, cool. Perfect. So this is my mango sauce. Now, obviously I would grind this up into powder. But for right now, let's just put a little bit of water in here. I might have actually put too much in. That's okay though. All right. The mango sauce is so good on tacos. So now I'm thinking I'm going to take this home. I've grinded it up into a powder. And anytime I want to have a little mango sauce, it can be the dead of winter. It could be anytime. And I don't have to cook it. I just have to reconstitute it. You can already see it happening. I put too much water in this, but you can already see it's coming back into a sauce that quick. Now, I definitely use too much water. But let me throw another thing in there so I get the right consistency. That's the part I'm figuring out right now. Is like how much water. You can weigh your food and get real scientific about it, but I never do that because I'm not organized enough. All right, that looks pretty good. So once that fully hydrates, it would be just like my mango sauce. But I don't have to refrigerate it, and I don't have to freeze it. I didn't put anything, Sassy Hound, on the vegetables yet, on the potatoes or anything. I didn't put anything on them yet. That comes in phase 2. Right now, I'm just trying to cook them a little bit. Yep, that looks pretty good. Oh my goodness, that's good. So good. Now this one was pretty cool too. This was an accident. And it's freeze-dried cheese. Freeze-dried shredded cheese. And I was trying to see, I'm trying different things, that's all. But this is cool because it is crunchy as crunchy can be. So it reminds me of those thin Chinese noodles, right? But cheese flavored. Because they're really crunchy. So good. So keep that going on over there. This one you sealed too, so you're going to have to unseal it, Jeff. Oh, he really got that one. Now these are my fresh eggs. And this has a ratio of usually 2 tablespoons of the dry powdered eggs to, I think it's 2 to 2, but I'm not going to do 2. I'm just going to show you one. And if I have a little frying pan, I'll even fry them up. And then 1 of water. Mix it up. You can use this in baking. You can use this to scramble eggs. This is just an egg. Just like a beaten egg. Same consistency and everything. I gotta make sure I turned that off. Okay. All right. Let me look here and see what we got going on. All right. We are good with the Brussels sprouts. They're looking good. Now I bumped that heat all the way up to like 450. So I'm trying to see how my potatoes are doing. Now I'm going to smash them if they're ready. They are almost ready.
Smash them on
I gotta
the
pull
cutting
this
board,
out.
and I can look down on the shot.
Huh?
If you smash them on the cutting board, I can get a shot from above.
Yeah.
There's a frying pan when you want to mess with it.
Okay, the Brussels sprouts look pretty good too. I don't want the Brussels sprouts to go in too much longer than this though, honestly. So they look pretty good. Just close that up. Yeah, they look pretty good. Now I'll dress them up. We've been, what, that was 3 hours it started, right?
Yeah. So what's the difference between freeze drying and dehydrating?
Yeah. Can you explain that? Because you do know the difference, right?
Not
Dehydrating
really.
sucks out the moisture. Freeze drying. So dehydration is just you put it in, it's warming the whole time. You know, you've got it in something warm and it's sucking out all the hydration. But when you put it into a freeze dryer, you either have, most of the time, not all the time, most of the time the food is frozen. So it's in like a frozen state. And then through sublimation, it pulls the moisture out. So it's a different process. So when you dehydrate, everything shrinks. But when you freeze dry, it can maintain its same shape, but just lose all its moisture because it's in a frozen state and it uses sublimation. Anything more than that, you'll have to ask me in a year after I study up about it. But that's what I understand so far. Now we're just gonna salt. No, Jen, because I talk too much. Okay, so can you disclose the vacation? This is good timing for that.
Yes, the vacation is not going to be anywhere near Hurricane Barrel.
That was where I was going with that, and I
Fortunately.
totally missed
Yes, so Cancun
Yes.
is actually, not Cancun, Grand Cayman is actually in the path for getting a near miss, but
Yeah.
we did not go there.
didn't go there.
Fortunately, we're going to the Bahamas, to Abacos Island, and that's north of Cuba, so no hurricanes for our period
Yeah, I
over
hope
there.
not. Okay, let's see. Now I gotta tell you,
So yes, Sassy
This is
Hound,
pretty
you can store this stuff that's freeze dried for what, 25 years?
they
or
say
something?
up to 25 years. Now I don't plan on that, but I mean, goodness, how old will we be? But I plan on doing a lot, and I plan on making some recipes for people who do have the freeze dryer because I think I've like invented already so many cool things. I'm so excited. I don't even know if I want to let the cat out of the bag too early. But I've done some things with cheese that every person that wants a crispy snack and doesn't want to pay $5 for a bag of something that isn't that great, they're going to love me. And then what else did I? Oh, I will share this because I'm working on it, but you can envision this. Okay. Do you know it's called like Christmas toffee? So basically it's usually a saltine. I use Ritz though. I just like that flavor better. So it's a saltine cracker where then you boil your butter and brown sugar and you bring it to a boil, blah, 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 blah. You pour it over the crackers, put it in the oven. And then when you bring it out and cools, you've got like, a sort of a toffee. It's not a real toffee, but it tastes really good. Well, when you put that into a freeze dryer, can they see that?
Put it down near the cutting board.
When you put it into a freeze dryer, it becomes this light. I don't even know. How would you describe it, Jeff? It's like,
I don't know. Let me try it. See.
oh
I
my,
don't know if there's a way to this.
I don't know either, but it's probably one of the best things I've ever eaten in my life. It's that good.
It's definitely melting your mouth.
It melts in your mouth, but it's got all the flavors. So good. Oh my gosh. George says, keep your seatbelt on when Louise is flying. Turbulence seems to be on another level these days. Oh my gosh. I hope not. I hope not. All right. I'm going to pour these in. Now this, keep in mind, this is half of an egg. And I did kind of put quite a bit of butter in there. So, but anyway.
Nothing wrong with butter.
Nothing wrong with butter. And I got crumbs all over me.
Is this still heating?
Yeah, it's still heating, but you can take off. It doesn't matter.
I'll do it so that they can see.
I just want to get this done kind
Eggs.
of quickly because eggs are not part of the dinner tonight. We are just about. Oh, I should have put those back in. Anyway, hey Jeff, you can make scrambled eggs here. You make scrambled eggs. Let me finish dinner. Just don't let them get too hard, okay? All right, now where did I leave off here? It doesn't look like I put any pepper on these. I don't remember if I put any oil on them. I don't think I did though. All right, we got to get these back in because now they got to crisp up. I don't know if I put oil. I might have. It's okay. It's going to be fine. Has it been out long enough? Yes. Okay. Now let's just get this back in. And then, all right, what else? What else do we have to do besides eat candy? Okay. Oh, good. Of course, I don't have another. Okay, that's fine.
There's scrambled eggs.
Okay. Now, turn the heat back on the upper one. Okay. So literally, they reconstitute just like scrambled eggs because they are. Oh, Jeff, you did a good job. You want to taste it? You did a really good job. Those are perfectly scrambled eggs. They're nice and soft and fluffy.
I can't believe they were dry.
I know. It's crazy.
It's delicious.
It's so crazy. Okay.
Oh, my.
Isn't that good? It's really good. Okay, now I'm ready to do my sauce. Okay. So to the onions and the mushrooms, I'm going to add about a tablespoon of Dijon mustard. We're going to add in a little bit of blue cheese and a little bit of wine. So I would say this is a total of, well, these are usually what, 5 ounces? Probably about 2 ounces. Or 3. Doesn't matter. Whatever, fine. And then I'm going to put it, first I'm going to make sure it's not bad. That's it. Okay. And I'm going to put in about 2 tablespoons of wine, not too much. And that's Prosecco, but it'll be fine. Let me just stir, we're going to let this melt together. Then we'll season it and add just a tiny bit of cream. And this is delicious on Brussels sprouts, it is delicious on steak, it is just delicious.
Yeah, and Kat was saying, and the eggs don't taste like those nasty dried hotel eggs that they reconstitute. No, they taste like fresh cracked eggs.
They do. Now, I bet the eggs that they use are freeze-dried too. Honestly, they probably are, right? I would think.
Probably.
But it's the cooking technique too. I will tell you they cook quick. So they cook quicker than a fresh egg. So you have to be careful that your heat's not too high and you're not cooking them too hard. Or I could see where they could get rubbery. But as long as you cook them right, they're delicious. I don't even think I put salt in those. I just put the salt and butter. It's delicious.
It was good.
I think we might need more of that sauce. What do you think? I'm going to put all of those in.
Yeah, where did everything go? Where'd all the mushrooms go?
Well, I'm just saying, like, it seems a little dry, doesn't it? Seems drier
See
than
what
normal. It's
happens.
usually saucier, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So far, you haven't put any cream in it, so
No.
just keep that until we know.
Yeah. And we'll just finish it with the cream right before serving.
Barbara Wolf says she uses bourbon instead of red or white wine.
Mm-hmm. That would be good. No problems there. Okay. Now this is the thing. You have to get everything done at the same time. That is the key to a good dinner, right?
Yep.
And the hardest part of everything. I think I just need to look at heat. I'm not going to put any more in until I know it heats up right. So I put the whole 5 ounces in there.
That's going to be blue
Now,
cheesy.
this is kind of a nice kind of dinner. It's a nice.
As long as
dinner.
that steak comes out perfect.
We're about done. All right, now we got to figure out how we're going to sear it. I think it's just going to be easiest to sear it on the stove. Okay. I do have cast iron, but this works on cast iron. It does, but it's going to get hot enough. You know how we've had issues.
What's something that's going to sear? Non-stick doesn't get too well.
Nothing
but non-stick.
my non-stick sears okay, but
This one
where's
here?
my cast iron? Oh, right there. See if that's all. See if it's seasoned well.
It is.
It just needs to AKA, make sure it's not rusty, right?
No, it's fine. Let me just wipe it out.
Because I haven't used it in a long time. I feel like I've made a mess.
You did. Yeah.
What?
Let's do it.
What?
You want to put it on the back and swap these around? Or what?
Yeah, we need it. We have too much stuff in the way here. We have too many things going on. When I decided where to put this cooktop, Jeff, you put my prized possession in water.
I was reconstituting it.
What? You put that in water. Now it's ruined. Aww.
Reconstituted.
Babe. It's not right.
There's more.
Not
More where
much.
that came from.
There's not much more, and I didn't want to make another batch. But anyway, okay. Are my Brussels sprouts burning? I don't know. I think this will be fine on here. That'll be fine. All right, so we want to get this up really hot. Really hot. This doesn't feel like it's doing much at all right now. We're just going to leave it. Maybe I'll turn the heat up on that too. All right. That should be good. I'm going to let you taste that and see what you think. I got to check the Brussels sprouts. Here. All right. My Brussels sprouts are getting a little overdone. I don't want that to be the case. So when you have one thing that's getting done nice and one thing that's overdone, I'm going to put a little piece of tin foil, aluminum foil, whatever you want to call it, over my Brussels sprouts.
This is delicious.
Is it?
Yeah. I wonder if it needs a little beef stock.
It could, but I'm not
And I'm
going.
just saying that because I remember the color of it when we made it before you started to be a little darker.
Yeah, and that very well could be,
But this is good. It doesn't.
but I'm not doing that because I'm not opening it up when we're going on vacation. All right, I got to secure this a little bit better, which means I got to take it off. Oh, where's my round thing that I've been using with the combi? Where'd that go to?
What round thing?
You know, oh, it's right here.
I'm gonna back this heat down.
Not on the cast iron.
No,
Okay.
the one that's boiling.
Okay, fine. I gotta do this in such a way that it doesn't blow off the thing. And I gotta not burn myself as I do it. Okay. I feel like I've ignored everybody all night. I don't know what any comments are, if they ask me any questions or anything, because I obviously cannot cook and read comments. I talk too much.
Well, George says, is it just me or is Louise buzzing tonight? Normally she's stressing about something at this stage. Must be vacation time.
Aren't I stressing now?
Well, not really. Got a lot going on, but
I got a
you're
lot
not
going on. Why does this keep getting moved off the heat? Oh, because it was boiling?
It was boiling over.
Okay, so you know when you move it off the heat of an induction burner, you turn the burner off. Yeah, so there. So if you do that, that's fine, but then you have to turn it back on. Okay. All right. Now, does it have enough seasoning? Salt, pepper,
Oh yeah.
all that
Perfect.
stuff?
Yep, perfect.
All right, we'll just let that simmer. And I think it was beef stock instead of wine. All right, are we ready? Okay. Are we ready? It's been just about an hour.
You want me to wipe off that cutting board real quick?
Yeah, you can do that. Okay, now the true test is, because I didn't use a sealable bag, it's easy. I can put it back in if I need to, but I'm going to test it. So we are going to take the internal temperature. Is it 125 degrees? As close to the dead center as I can get. If it is, oh, of course, my thermometer. This one, I think I need to replace the battery. For some reason, this has been the one this is the original one I got. And for some reason, it like works half the time and doesn't work half the time. There. Okay. Okay. What are we at? Oh, we are close. So if that was in just under an hour, we're at 116. That is close enough for me. Some places are reading a little bit warmer. Ideally, it would be 125 right in the center. It is not quite there. So ideally, it would need another 30 minutes. So I'll leave it in.
Really have.
We don't have 30 minutes. I'm going to leave it in just, I'm just going to leave it in as long as I possibly can. But it's fine. All right. We probably don't have any minutes because we're probably ready to go. We don't have any minutes.
Kat says it doesn't feel like it's been an hour.
Yeah, it's been what, 50 minutes, 52 minutes.
And Brenda says missed the cream.
I didn't put it in yet. Yeah, I didn't add it yet. So, 90 minutes would be ideal. Okay, it's going in, dry pan. Blot it off first. Very important. When you cook with a wet cooking technique, which sous vide is, and you want to sear, you need to have a dry pan.
And dry meat.
And dry meat.
So it doesn't drop the temperature.
Yes, exactly. So I'm just going to pat it. This is a beast. I mean, I've never had a fillet this thick, I don't think. Can you do me a favor? Can you, I know I have scissors out here somewhere. Can you, or just take this knife and just cut it off.
Just cut the end off?
Just cut the end off. Let me watch my hand. There we go. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, it's going on. Ready?
Yep. Oh, listen to that.
All right. And then I have another surprise. Okay. The potatoes, I know the Brussels sprouts are done. The potatoes could go longer. So let me take the Brussels sprouts out and cover them and let them stay warm until we're ready. That will work perfect. Because I think the Brussels sprouts might have even gotten a little crunchier than I like. But
so what temperature did you cook the steak at?
125.
And it didn't quite come up to an internal temperature
It did
of
not
125.
quite because I didn't leave it in long enough.
Just shy of 120, really.
And now that I'm thinking about that, I'm like, I wonder if maybe for this to hurry it up, maybe I should have gone up a little bit in the temperature. But I really wanted it a perfect 125 all the way through because that gives me the perfect end result after I sear it, on both sides.
And the
That's
searing
what works
is going
all the time.
is going to raise the temperature all the way through. Anyway.
It's not going to raise it all the way through, right?
No, it's not all the way through?
Yeah. Oh. No. Because if we raise the temperature all the way through, we would be cooking it more. The idea is to sear it, but not really cook it more on the inside. Now, because mine's under, I really can do whatever. Like, I can do whatever I want.
Now, could all of this been done in the combi?
Yes. Well, not at the same time. You can't sous vide and then combi crisp at the same time. But yes, technically, except for the fact that I don't like to use the combi or the Ninja Foodi to do anything that for searing, unless you use the sear saute, you could do it that way. Because broil takes too long to broil the outside, and I think it cooks the meat too much. So right now, all I'm waiting for is for this pan to tell me that it is releasing the meat so I can flip it. But it's not yet, so please just stay there.
Okay, so what would be the temp for medium? About 130, 135?
Medium, probably I would go 135 for medium. Yeah. And then 125 is on the low end of medium rare. Hi, Mannion.
And Barbara said, blot the meat and drizzle lightly with fish sauce, then do a very hot sear. I've never heard of that.
Fish sauce. Fish sauce, that magic ingredient. Yeah. That's interesting. We might have to try that now.
Yeah, I'd be willing to try it sometime.
Okay, it's still not ready to.
Don't be putting no fish sauce on this beauty, though.
All right. Now, hopefully, I don't smoke us out. Right? This thing puts off quite a bit of
It is.
Smoke.
Remember when we seared something
We
recently?
seared something and I had to leave the room.
That was in the other house. We made them. It was smoky.
It was.
I can open this door here.
Yeah, why don't you open the door just in case? 130 for medium rare. 130 for medium rare. Yeah, I like it on the rare medium rare. So I keep it down at 125. But that's all just personal preference. Okay, those are looking amazing. Do you want to get a plate?
Sure.
Because we're ready.
And Bonnie,
I mean,
that cut of meat is a large fillet.
The largest fillet I've ever seen. Why sear dry? To get a nice sear and a crust on the bottom. Otherwise, you can steam the meat and it won't get that crust. Although I'm doing something that I should never do in a million years, but I'm trying to rush. Is what I'm doing, and I should not be doing this. But I am gonna almost force flip it. Otherwise, it's gonna take too long because it's still sticky, and I should not do that. I do not recommend this.
Forcing it off.
Yeah. I'm not doing it. It's too expensive. I don't want to do it, Jeff.
It'll be fine. Just let it
I
finish.
don't want to force it off, but I want to get done. I still need to do the sides. Those are still going to be good. They're still good. Come on.
So a couple of people asking why dry sear.
Yeah, I can't do that. Okay, I did force it a little bit, but I'm just going to take it out so you guys can see because it really gets a nice sear all over the bottom that way. Now I'm going to put it back in.
Oh, that's going to be so delicious.
Yes, it is. But, and it's a hot pan. Now I could add some oil and butter and what butter would burn, I guess. Oh, I just happen to have something that I made. Okay. All right. Which one smells better? One's done with oak and one is done with apple.
That smells like a fire. That smells better.
Okay, this one's the apple. I know you like apple. Smoked tallow. Recipe coming soon. So smoked tallow is rendered beef fat, and it has a very high smoke point, so we can do it on this high heat, and it'll be good. Now, what happened? Did we ever find those scissors?
The last time I saw
I just
it,
walked right
when
on
you
it.
cut the string, that was the last time I saw it.
They're around here somewhere, but I must be with it there. Cut the string again. Okay. I might have touched that still too. Oh well. What are we gonna do, guys? It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be good. Now you can put oil. I think John's telling people about moisture and steam. You can put oil in, but a lot of oil will just burn. You know, it'll just burn because I've got this pan hot, really hot.
Is there a way to sous vide in the Ninja without having the Ninja function?
Without having the sous vide function?
Yeah.
Not easily. All right, that's good. Now let's add a little cream and let's get it done. That's gonna be good.
It's
That's gonna be
almost
good.
dinner time.
Yeah, it's dinner time. Do you want me to grab the cream or do you want to grab the cream?
I'll grab the cream.
I'm just gonna roll this around and sear the sides a little bit. Now, the other thing about sous vide,
I got the mega cream.
Yeah. The other thing about sous vide is you don't have to let it rest. I don't have to let the steak rest because it raised so slowly in temperature over that hour that I can just cut right into it. I'm not going to lose moisture or anything. And what I don't recommend is having something on the back burner and breathing in all this smoke. That's what I don't recommend. Did I just see a fly by me?
Probably. We have the door open. They should be asleep right now. Should be past their bedtime.
It's warm in here. Did you end up turning off the air conditioning or?
No, I didn't. It's warm in here because you've got two very hot pans going.
Okay, I'm gonna get to this in a minute. Don't let me forget about that. Okay, we ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Big hunk of steak. Looks good. All right, now let's get some veggies on this dirty plate that I just dirtied up. And
I'll get the other plate ready for you.
well, let's just make one plate.
Okay.
Because I'm out of room and I'm feeling very claustrophobic over there. And then we've got the smashed potatoes, which we want to put butter on, I'm sure, right?
Yep.
And you probably want regular butter.
Yeah.
Now, do you want smoked butter or regular butter on your steak?
Regular.
Okay. All right. We did get a little smoky in here.
Yep.
It's okay. All right. Let's see what she did here. Ready? Oh my gosh, it cuts like butter. I will tell you that.
Oh, it's rare, but it's nice.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
That's a good rare.
Oh my gosh.
That's beautiful.
Oh wow. It's definitely rare. I mean, obviously at 116 it's going to be. But we're okay with that. If you're not, you definitely would go 90 minutes or take your temperature up or both. Yes, I'm putting it right back on there because we're out of room.
And you've got potatoes up there. Now you just need the mushroom sauce.
Yeah, which I'm out of room. No matter how big your kitchen is, you're always out of room. You want those over your...
Yeah, over the Brussels sprouts. Nice.
I'll just put them on the side here. Okay. All right, Mr. Jeff.
Okay,
I guess you need a fork.
We need a fork and a steak knife.
Here's a fork.
Okay.
Here's a steak knife. You probably don't even need a knife.
I know. I was going to try the fork test.
But I don't know. I mean, you might because it is rare.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I got through it all
I
right.
got through it all right.
Let's get some mushrooms. The sauce.
Good idea, Barbara. Cut the ends and leave the middle. Reheat tomorrow.
Oh. Where do you taste that steak?
Is it good?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Let me try it.
Oh, it's incredible. You get a little bit of the smokiness from the tallow that you put in there.
Uh-huh. All right, I'm just going to try a piece without anything on it. Oh, wow.
This is like 5-star restaurant.
Delicious. That is definitely. If I could have gone the 90 minutes.
It's better than that fancy place we went in Cleveland. Remember that steak?
Oh, this steak would go for probably $200. Wow. Okay. We got to taste the rest of the stuff, though.
Okay. Smashed potatoes.
Smashed potatoes. Are they overcooked?
Perfect.
Not for you, right? Okay.
Brussels sprouts.
Brussels sprouts.
Now we get that crunchy leaf right there. Best part.
Worth the $30. Brenda, totally.
Brussels sprouts may be a little overcooked.
Overcooked. Are they mushy?
Mm-mm. But they're good.
They're not overcooked.
No. Under?
They're neither, but I do think we like them a little less cooked. But they're not. I like them better, I think, when they're bigger and I cut them in half.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just like them better. But they're still good. I mean, they're cooked well.
Mm-hmm.
The economy did a good job is what I mean.
Tastes great.
But yeah, okay. Exciting.
Wow, everything is perfect again.
Our steak's amazing. All right.
So the question was, worth the $30? Yeah. And it's big enough steak that it'll last us a couple days here. We'll have steak and eggs tomorrow. Steak and reconstituted eggs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But that means you have to come home.
Oh, that's right.
Or make it yourself here.
I'll make it myself. Okay. I wasn't going home tonight because I have all my stuff here to pack. Okay, so I wanted to try, this won't melt in time, but I wanted to try a little bit of the smoked butter. And then we're going to try this pork that I reconstituted. Are you ready for that?
Sure.
Okay. And I'm sorry I ignored everybody tonight. I really did. This one is simple, but kept me busy. Kept me busy. Oh, I don't know, mister. I want you to try it with this butter.
George says, we all need an invite to your place, Louise and Jeff, for the next Tasty Tuesday.
Oh.
Not sure I can put up with much of this torture, not being able to taste what you cook.
Oh my gosh. You know, that would be fun. We need to figure out a way where we could all gather, obviously different countries, so it would be very difficult, but some places in the US, and then do a fun cooking thing. That would be so much fun. So you guys did get to eat the food. That's pretty good with the butter, right?
That is good, but it's such a good steak that I wouldn't
It is.
put the smoke on there.
All right, will you give me a paper towel?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to put this on here. Jeff will eat more steak in a little bit. But I want to show you
I'll
this
definitely
before
eat
we
some
go.
tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay. It still freaks me out. All right. So this has been sitting in here like for an hour. It was pretty hot water. It wasn't boiling or anything. You remember how crispy this was. Now it is just like pork. It's pork loin. And it tastes just like pork loin. Now it's cold. But
Perfect.
it tastes just like pork loin. Isn't that
I would
amazing?
never know that had been freeze.
No. Now this one, I overcooked. So it's a little tougher than I like. But that's my fault, not the freeze dryer. Which is why I experimented with it. Now, of course, now it cannot sit out like this. It's got to be in the refrigerator. How crazy is that? Oh, Michelle says she can travel. All right, cool. We'll have to
Andy
do something
said,
like that.
how about on a cruise? Remember we talked about doing that, and we were talking about it with the Ninja Foodies that we realized that you can't travel.
Well,
take a Ninja Foodie on a cruise.
two things happened. I was actually contacted by somebody who organizes that kind of stuff, and they asked. This is pretty much back I would say 2019. And I thought, oh my gosh, that would be so much fun, right? That would be so much fun. And so I said, yeah, I'm interested in doing that. But then as we were talking, I was like, it wouldn't be worth it if I couldn't bring my Ninja Foodie and if other people didn't have something to cook with and blah, 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 blah. And she said, well, she'll look into that. But we found out you can't do that, number one. Number two, COVID hit. And then it just got shut right down. We were like, no. And I was so glad that I didn't like jump on it sooner and get people booking their trips because everything was canceled, right? For years. So Barbara said I would reconstitute with chicken or beef stock. Absolutely. Absolutely. I would do something like that, or a combination of water and that. I'm just playing around here right now, just trying to figure out like how much you need to reconstitute with. But yeah, definitely. Well, I'm happy. I'm not thrilled with the steak. I mean, the steak is good. Don't get me wrong. I'm just upset that I rushed it and didn't let it sit in there like it should. So let's measure that steak, Jeff.
Thickness,
Yeah, just for my curiosity.
that's gonna be a good 1.5 inches.
Oh gosh, I bet it's 2.5. This is my food measurer. Yeah, so it's
1 3/4.
1 3/4. So it was probably about. It was at least 2.25.
It was easily a 2-inch steak or more.
Easily, yeah. And this side even looks like it's bigger. So yeah, so 90
It's got
minutes
a lot
for a
of room
2-inch.
for reheating too, because it's still raw.
Yeah. 90 minutes in the sous vide, whatever temperature you like your steak cooked to, for a 2-inch. So if I had a smaller one, if it was a 1-inch, 60 minutes would have cooked it perfectly fine. I usually do 90 minutes on sirloins though, because they're a little tougher and I like to give them a little bit more time. But sous vide is a great way to cook. I mean, it really is. It's fun. It's easy. It's hands off. So you can, throw whatever into the sous vide cooker and do whatever else you want to do, your sides and things like that. So yeah, be fun. Oh my gosh, Kat says we can all freeze dry our food and then make it and then bring it on the cruise. We'll make it in the Ninja, freeze dry our food, bring it on, we'll reconstitute it. How funny is that? That's funny. Good to see you, Manion. All right. I think we're done.
Yep.
We're
So no live next week.
Yes.
No
Did you
live
ever
food.
talk about where we're going?
I mentioned Abacos in the Bahamas, but that's about as far as I got. I didn't.
Because I kept
You
talking.
Went on to something else. Yeah.
Well, why don't you tell everybody where we're going? Like what we're doing, how long we're gone for. Why don't you give them the rundown?
Okay.
Be a travel agent. Where am I going? Where are you taking me, Jeff?
We're going to the Bahamas,
Mhm.
island called Abacos, which is north of Nassau.
Mhm.
It's really a place where a lot of people from Florida go their boats. So it's mostly visited by boats. So there's not too much on the island. A lot of open space on the island. Where we are is a neighborhood on flats, which is the shallow water that's protected by a reef, so it's not really wavy. Calm, blue waters. And we're renting a house on the water. It comes with paddle boards and kayaks and a 16-foot boat ski. Yeah. So we're fishing gear. I got fishing permit to go on the top of there. And I do a lot of help. I can go to restaurants because there's maybe one. It's just a area. Why? Okay. That works. I know what's wrong with this. Okay, so. Okay, well, sorry. Johnny's like, you got me. You're telling me. We're going to have silence. Speak to me. We're going to have silence. Come on. Let's. We need more time. No, we don't. The night, which is Tuesday. We come back on the 18th, which is Thursday. I'll be live again for Q&A. I think it's the 23rd, so we'll have 2 weeks. We'll be off, we'll have 2 weeks. We filmed all the videos, so videos coming out. So, we're still coming on YouTube. I just think a video out today. Maybe it's just telling me it's time. Go. It's time to go. Right. No, we can't. Tell people just in this room. We're just talking. Okay. No idea.